Today. I feel bad.
All right, you guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
April, you ready?
Ready.
This is yours. So April Tucker is just going to talk to us about some very important things that have to do with social media and whatever else you have planned for us. So.
Okay. Well, thank you, Carol and Tim, for inviting me to be here today. One of the things that you had asked Carol is if I could put together a video for people to watch. But of course, in true April fashion, I did not get it done in time. So last night I hurry up and I got it done. And I know that we just kind of talked over, recordings can be a little bit more boring, but I do want to start it out with that. It's about 30 minutes long, but you guys get out a pen and a paper. I tried to make it really just kind of fun and very much in my style. And it's really just going to be everything that I'm going to talk over that I would have talked over if I just would have done it in person. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start that video. It is breaking down how social media has been influential in my own business, how I've built a really big, fun business based off of my different social media platforms, and then just the basics of what you guys need to know as, maybe newer agents or agents who've been around for a while, as far as how to set some of that up. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to share my screen. That video will run for probably, I think it's about 27 minutes, and then we can open it up to questions and answers and have a lot of fun, if that is okay with you guys. And if it's boring, just let me know. I can stop it and we can jump into real conversation, because this is a little outside the norm for me, but I actually had a lot of fun with this. So I need somebody, though, to let me share my screen. Unless, Carol, you have the video to pop up, but I've got it right here, too.
While Carol's working on it, that'll be perfect because it'll give us about 30 minutes for Q&A.
Yeah, Tim, you opened this, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to
make her co-host.
Make host. I'm giving you the hosting abilities, April.
Thank you. All right, guys, good luck. Here we go. I'm going to pull the things down here. Take notes, you guys. There's lots of good content in here. And when it's done, feel free to fire all the questions at me, because I'm sure you guys will have some. All right, here we go. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining me here today. I'm April. I'm a realtor here with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate, the Good Life Group, and I love social media, you guys. I've been in real estate for about 5 years now, and most people who know me would be very surprised to learn that even though I seem very outgoing and seem very much like an extrovert, I'm actually very introverted, and I'm very, very shy, and I do have a lot of anxiety when it comes to talking to people in like a real conversation. And so anyways, I knew getting into real estate that having those phone calls or face-to-face to try to stay in front of clients was not going to be the most comfortable route for me. So I knew I needed to find some way to stay in front of people in a very comfortable way. And for me, that became kind of hiding behind my computer screen and getting all over social media and building a big business. And it has turned into a big business. And I have learned a lot throughout the years of what works, what doesn't work. And I love to share that with everybody. I really have found, especially in your first year or two in real estate, but really, it doesn't matter how long you've been in real estate, it is really easy, you guys, to get distracted by shiny objects. I mean, talk about some shiny object syndrome, right? You jump into real estate and you're like, oh, a lead generation platform. Oh, a CRM platform. Okay, I'm going to jump in with both feet, but then nope, I'm going to get distracted by this shiny object and that shiny object. Guys, I felt like a hamster on a spinning wheel my first year in real estate because I just was so overwhelmed by this feeling of always being distracted by something. So I wanted that to go away. And I went, you know what, April, you just need to find your thing. You need to focus on it and block out the rest of the noise. And for me, that is social media. So guys, I'm really excited you guys are here with me today. I'm going to try to keep this very basic, and I'd love to have, a more in-depth conversation with anybody who wants to after this. So, all right, guys, there are a ton of social media platforms out there. There used to be, even back in my day when I started 5 years ago, it's like, oh, there's one that's not too bad. And then that one has now branched into about 8 or 9 or 10. And it feels like every year they're coming out with something new. Of course, you have Facebook and Instagram. Everybody kind of knows those. But then you also have, LinkedIn and Google My Business page, and you have Clubhouse, and you have TikTok, and what are hashtags, and how do you create this content, and. So you can start to go down a rabbit hole. So for me, I am going to focus on my main ones, which for me are going to be Facebook, some on Instagram, and then I've also really started to dive into Google My Business page, and I've been dabbling around some too with TikTok. I do find it to be a lot of fun. So guys, let's go ahead and jump in with the OG. Well, maybe not technically the OG. I guess technically you could call MySpace the OG, but really for the purposes of this, let's just go ahead and call it Facebook. Guys, it is big. It is not going anywhere. Facebook is here to stay for a long, long time. Did you know that they have approximately 1 to 2 billion with a B active users at any given time on Facebook? That is an insane number, you guys. This is the place to be. This is a great place to follow, or, to gain a following. So everybody more than likely has, I'll make an assumption here, a personal page on Facebook. And that's great. You guys want to have that personal page. That's that one where you share all the pictures of your kids and your dogs and your accomplishments and, school and all those types of things, right? Keep that going. I personally add a lot of my past clients to my Facebook page. Really easy way to stay in front of all of them. But as a real estate agent, you want to also have a business page. People will be looking for your business page. Who should have a business page? If you're a solo agent or you're an agent on a team, you want to have your own personal business page. Now, if you are a team lead, you probably want to have a page that is strictly for your team. So for me, that would be the cop group, right? So, for most of you guys, though, this is going to be, even if you fall on a team, still build your own personal business page, right? Don't always just rely on the one that the team has. All right, so what does that look like? When you guys build that business page, there are some guidelines that the commission has put into place. More than likely, the name of your business page will be April Tucker, Realtor, BHGRE, The Good Life. Oh. Oh dear.
You spinning?
I am spinning. I've got full bars. I don't know what happened.
Just stop it and then start it again.
Okay. Oh, very different. Okay. Well, guys, that's going to be, I'm just going to pick it up from there because I just did it all last night. So I'm just going to keep talking on it and let that just keep on spinning, I suppose. So anyways, yep, when you guys do that name of the page on Facebook, you have to have your brokerage name in there. So make sure that is something you guys are tracking that is coming down from the commission side of things. Okay, so then not sure why it won't just go, but that's okay because I'm going to pull it up right here. And just go into my full screen on it. Can you guys see that still okay? Okay, so once you guys get it going, what is the best time to post? If you guys aren't used to posting, right, no big deal. Back when I first started out, I started out with like 2 posts every single week that I was really good at doing. So if you guys are looking to start out small, did you know that there are all sorts of algorithms that go into the back end of exactly how they figure out the best times to post on social media? Very interesting. If you guys only post 1 time a week, I'm going to sit here and advise you guys to make that Wednesdays. Wednesdays tend to have the most, I don't know if it's like a hump day type of thing, but Wednesdays tend to have the best, the best traction as far as people seeing your content, likes, shares, comments, all that kind of stuff. The worst day to post is going to be on Sundays. So maybe try to keep Sundays a little bit more key and not post as much. If you want to narrow it down even more than that, Wednesdays at 11 a.m. is going to be the most ideal time. And then also between the hours of 1 and 2 o'clock. Looking outside of that, interestingly enough, your next best time to post is going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3 p.m., which is school hours, because moms must be home on Facebook. So anyways, if you guys are looking to just post a couple times, there's some guidance on when you should be posting. which really brings me into, what should you guys be posting? That is a really, really big question that I get all the time. It's something that, it's taken me a lot of time over the years to really develop your own style or my own style in posting. Guys, I am going to pull out one of my absolute favorite words here, which is authenticity. Be real on your social media. You guys, they can see when you are putting BS out there. They can smell the BS. Really, if you guys get on your business page and everything is posting about a house and posting a picture of a key and posting a picture of a sold sign and everything's all about real estate, nobody cares about that stuff, you guys. I promise. I've run the gamut on, posting very real estate related in the beginning of my career, and where I really started to gain traction and gain a following was really when I started to post very real, very authentic material. And I'm just a huge advocate for that. Oftentimes when I make posts on my business page, it is, posts about how, about my kids or something funny that happened during the day, maybe something a little bit more emotional or how frustrating something was. People love that kind of content. Matter of fact, the best post that I ever made was a post that I did, and it was on my business page, and then I also did it on my personal page, about Valentine's Day boxes of all things. I was sitting there trying to help my son come up with a Valentine's Day box. And guys, I am not crafty Pinterest mom, like whatsoever. And so anyways, I made a post about how the kind of like trying to keep up with Mrs. Jones's and like, this is not my thing. And about how it can be very frustrating. And what about families who don't necessarily have the money to be out, buying all the supplies and whatnot, and send their kids to school with a plastic bag. And it was just kind of this emotional post. Guys, I did it on my business page. It went, for me, viral. I want to say, and I have to look back over the numbers, it was over 100,000 like, comments, and shares. You guys, it drove a lot of business back to my business page. And I actually did pick up some leads off of it because everybody was like, oh, she's just a real person. She's somebody who gets us. She's somebody who understands. And so I am all about authenticity in what you are posting. That being said, there's really no hard rule as far as how, what you should post that's really non-real estate related versus real estate related. But really at the end of the day, I try to keep it about 90% non-real estate and really about 10% real estate. But then of course, in between all of that, I'm doing all of my, upcoming listings, my just listed, my just sold, that type of content people generally do like. So I really encourage you guys to be very authentic in what you're posting on social media, and you guys are going to start to see a natural following and organic leads coming in because you are a very relatable person who's not just trying to sell something. People know when you're trying to sell them. You don't want to sell them. Is my internet working here? Are people able to hear me right now? Can someone let me know? I don't know if I'm just like,
yeah, you sound great. You're fine.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if the internet was still not working. I appreciate it.
By the way, our Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate is the only national real estate brand with written core values. And those 5 core values are, there was a lot of thought and effort that went into those. And it's one of the reasons we are who we are, because we truly believe in Paige, truly believe in it. So your floor.
No, I totally agree. I've got to tell you, I'm a huge, huge fan of the core values. And yeah, I try to bring an element of it into everything that I do. We are so fortunate here to have this, and clients love it too. It's a great, marketing tool as well. It's always in all of my packets. So love, love. Okay, guys. So kind of some other talking points when it comes to, Facebook and really starting to grow a business and, make a presence on Facebook. One of the first things that you should be doing is joining any of your local BST sites. That's any of your local buy, sale, trade sites. There are like literally hundreds and hundreds of them out there, and you should belong to all of them. Whenever you have a new house hit the market, or you want to make some sort of like an area-wide post about, hey, this is the state of the market or whatnot, I always make that on my business page. And if anybody needs me to show them how to do this, I am so happy to do that, you guys. I always make my post, new listing, Clearwater Falls, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. Here's the pretty flyer. Here's the link, all that kind of stuff, right? And then I press that little share button, and then I share it to about 10 or 12 local BST sites. Here's the trick. If you guys share it to much more than 10, in one shot. They could put you in Facebook jail. It ain't nobody got time for Facebook jail, right? We've got leads out there. We've got lead gen to do. You don't want to end up in Facebook jail. So really try to keep it to about 10 sites at a time. So if I am listing one, you know, in Clearwater Falls, which is right there on that Bellevue Papillion line, I'm probably going to pick out 10 local buy sale trade sites that are very specific to Bellevue Papillion, off at Air Force Base, things like that. That is one of the best ways to pick up leads, you guys. Anybody who gets on there and likes it, comments on it, tags their spouse in it, that happens all the time. Shoot them a Facebook Messenger and say, hey, thanks so much for, you know, jumping in there on the post. Are you have any interest in seeing it? Or can I give you any more information? Get that conversation started, you guys, and then invite them back to like your business page. It really is a huge lead generating machine for me, and I want it to work for you guys also. On top of that, be joining any of your local interest groups. That's going to be like your Let's Talk Papillion. Let's really talk Papillion. Let's really, really talk Papillion. The Glenwood Buzz, the Glenwood Anti-Buzz. That's going to be like Bellevue 411 and Omaha Moms in the Know, right? Any of those groups that are on Facebook that really have to do with local interests. You guys, I have picked up a ton of business just by creating very authentic presence on these different groups as the go-to realtor in that specific area. So for example, if it's Let's Really Talk Papillion, you know, people just kind of know, oh, hey, you've got a real estate question, they tag me in it. Hey, April, you're a local realtor, you know, you always have good advice, go ahead and jump on here. Definitely take a big interest in those. I know Kathy Hirsch, you run a really big one here in town, and you know, you have such a platform to use that, you know, kind of, I don't want to say to your advantage, because again, I never want to make it seem like we're just everything we do is trying to fish for leads. That's not what it is. But if you put that content and you put that authenticity out there, and you just really just be a very honest source of good information, those leads are going to come to you, which brings me to another really great point about local interest groups, and that is creating your own local interest groups. Guys, they are not kidding when they say, what is the phrase? The riches are in the niches, or the reaches and the niches, whatever it's called, right? Okay, seriously, no joke, you guys. If you have an interest, for me, for example, that's going to be military. I'm a veteran. My husband's a veteran, right? I'm very, very involved in the AFA community. I know VA loans like the back of my hand, and I love my military clients. So what I have done is I have created local interest groups that I'm the lead on. I'm the admin. I run them, and I use those to try to hook different people into the group. So then that way, then I can be the forerunner when it comes to any real estate knowledge, or even if they're coming in and they're like, hey, we want to know about the best parks or the best restaurants or best daycare or whatnot, right? You can be that person on there that's giving all of that knowledge, and those leads are naturally going to happen. Let's say that, you know, you really love horses. Horses are your thing, right? You love horses, you love ranches, you know, you love farms. Create a Facebook group around it. Omaha Farms, you know, Omaha Ranch Hands or something like that. I don't know what you could call it. And then try to find all those people and get those people added into the group, and they'll naturally join the group and they search on there. And again, you guys are coming across of the utmost professional, and you are the person who is most knowledgeable in that field. Amazing way to pick up leads, you guys. Another really great thing that I've done on Facebook is creating a Facebook VIP group. I should say a client VIP group. Some people might call it like a raving fans club, things like that. And so back when I realized, gosh, April, you're 3 years in and you never started a database and you really suck at this. And now I'm totally backpedaling in my business very badly. Thank God I came to Better Homes and figured all of that out, because I don't think I'd have a database today if I had not. Very thankful for it. I didn't know how to get in front of my clients very quickly when I realized what a big mistake I had made my first 2 years in not tracking them anywhere. So I jumped on the thing that I knew, which was Facebook, and I created the April Tucker VIP group, and I started adding all of my past clients in there in force. And I did a post and I pinned it to the top, and it said, oh my gosh, you guys, I have been so busy learning this business and kind of learning by a fire hose that I forgot to love on the people that have gotten me to this point. I want to stay in touch. I want to be an active part of your lives. And that is why I've created this here.
my group is awesome. Like, it's gotten to the point where I have one client who'll get on there and say, hey, does anybody know a good roofer? And before I can even respond, 8 other clients are on there saying, oh yeah, we use this person and this person. I'm starting to see a synergy between these people. And then they're coming to my, drive-through events, or they're coming to, non-COVID, regular events, and they're recognizing each other. And they're like, oh, you're the person that gave me that referral on the page. Guys, it is some cool synergy. Other thing that you're going to realize if you do that is if you do have, somebody, you guys have all seen the post where it says, hey guys, we are looking to sell our house and buy another one. Can anyone recommend a good realtor? Guys, when people get onto Facebook and post those in the local interest groups, if one of my clients see it, they'll go get on my VIP group and say, hey guys, someone's looking for a realtor on the Let's Really Talk with Pillion page, go tag April. I mean, you guys, what an awesome way for just everything in your business to come full circle. And so I am Facebook junkie. I would absolutely love to walk you guys through, if you want to set up your own interest groups, maybe some fun creative ideas, or set up your VIP group, or what kind of posts to make. I am all about it. Okay, moving on here. Let's go to the next thing, which is going to be Instagram. Guys, I am not going to sit here and promise that you guys I am some Instagram expert, because literally I am not. Actually, I think that Kathy Hirsch is, and I think maybe she could run a really great class on Instagram. That being said, I have tried very hard over the last year and a half to delve into it, to start to really learn it. Because here's the thing. There are, mind-blowingly, about 500 million users on Instagram every single day. Guys, your clients are on Instagram. And if your clients are there, it's very important that you guys are there building a presence. Fun fact. Did you guys know that pictures on Instagram perform 23% better than photos on Facebook? That means they're getting 23% more engagement, more likes, more comments, right? Everybody kind of knows Instagram for very pretty pictures, very pulled together type of content, great for branding. It's kind of like Facebook's like pretty little blonde cousin, like, oh, this is very glamorous over here, right? So how do you get started on Instagram? Again, breaking it down to those basics. If you are a solo agent, or you're an agent on the team, congratulations, you only need one Instagram page. You don't need a second one. And I'm all about keeping things very, very simple. Okay, so just keep all of your personal and all of your business all to that one page. Now, to flip that on its head, if you are a team lead, or you're looking to be a team lead, very good to have your own personal, and then to have an Instagram page for your team. So that's kind of how we're going to break all of that down. Now, that's not to say that when you set up your own personal Instagram account, right, you have the option when you set up the page, there's a little button that, is for your settings. Go into your settings. There are different types of pages that you can make your page. So you're still going to have your same page, but it's like a back end setting. You can have an influencer page. You can have a personal page. You can have a business page. And I think there's one other type of page on there. You guys want to go into your settings on your personal page and set it to business. All right. Go ahead and do that. If you guys have not done that yet, set it to business. Reason that you guys want to be doing that is that business is the type of page that allows you to track all of your analytics. And you guys, the analytics are fascinating to go look at. If you've not looked at the back end, I recommend switching it to business and going in and checking them out. You guys can see how many people are looking at all of your content, who all is viewing all of your face or all of your Instagram stories, right? All sorts of different things built into the back end. Interesting story, Carol, it came from Barbara Betts, and this has always really stuck with me. She said that she had a client that she had been trying for years to get in front of, inviting them to events and sending them the cards in the mail and doing the Popeyes. And this person never, ever responded. Never. And she was always just like, well, gosh, did I do something? Does she hate me? Like, oh, what has happened here? Like, I cannot get in front of this person. However, she started to realize that because she's got her business page, right? It's set up as a business page, even though it's her own personal page. She started looking at who is viewing her stories very consistently. And lo and behold, the client who she'd been trying so hard to get in front of for so long was viewing all of her stories. And then all of a sudden that person started liking her stories. And as soon as that happened, she sent her a private message and said, oh my gosh, It is so good to see you on here and started a conversation. Everything was cool. Person ended up turning around, I think, selling a house with her soon after. So, that's just a really cool story that stuck with me about the importance of, the business page, the analytics, and being able to track all of that data. Now, interesting, okay? When you're looking at setting up your page, there's a couple of basics that you guys need to know. Your username, right? So not the name, but the username. Guys, this is how people are going to find you. You want to make it your name. So April Tucker, Kathy Hirsch, Tim Reeder, whatever the case is, just know that when your clients or people who want to scope you out get on Instagram, if they're like, oh gosh, I wonder if April has an Instagram page, they're going to go up to that little search button. They're going to put in April Tucker. And as long as your username is matching up with what your actual name is, or somewhere in that realm, they're going to be able to find you. Make your username you, make it easy to find. Now flip that on its head, look right above that, right? Now you have your name. Your name is going to be different from your username, and I'll show you in a second. You want your names to have searchable catchphrases in it. For me, that's going to be off it because, me, I'm 100% almost military and off it. For somebody else here, that might be Omaha Realtor Extraordinaire, or for somebody else, it might be, the old house expert, or, whatever the case may be. So you want to make your name something that people can search you by, whatever your kind of expertise of the field is. And then also important to know, make sure you're putting your website in there, because that is like the only clickable link on the whole thing. So by the time you're done, right, when you're set that up, your next thing coming up here is going to be your bio. If you guys have a hashtag or a couple hashtags that you guys really use very consistently, hashtag be better, hashtag the good life group, whatever the case is that you want to be known by and found, this is the place to put your hashtag in there. Because when people are searching hashtags, it makes your page pop up if it's in your bio. So very important. Something else that makes bios very kind of, easy for people to read is the use of emojis. So I've got my house, I've got my little flag sitting there, right? So make your bio have your hashtag in it and make it very clean and simple for people to read. When you're all done, right? This is just one example here. I flipped it over to the Copper group. The other one was on the AMT, because the Copper group, I've got these highlights set up on. So the next thing I want to show you and talk to you guys about is when you're posting on Instagram, there are two completely separate ways to post. You have your feed, right? So when you get on Instagram, you can scroll through the feeds just like you do on Facebook. Should be very, very similar. Look about like what you guys are used to. If you guys post a post on Instagram, that's going to show up on everybody's feeds that they're scrolling through. They can like, they can comment on it, drop that little heart or whatnot, and that stays on there forever. That will always be on your feed. Now, conversely, the other option that you have when posting to Instagram is going to be creating a story. So an Instagram story, you guys see my picture up here with the weird fridge next to me. That's all very awkward. But anyways, if somebody clicks on your face right there, it's going to pull up your story from the day. So make sure that you guys at least once a week, if nothing else, are trying to post at least one story. What is a story? A story is about 15 seconds worth of content that stays in your story for 24 hours. All right. And so you can stitch together lots of different little 15 or 5 seconds or a picture worth of content. And it's a really good way to get started with that, and a really kind of fun trick. Do little mini documents of your day. So have somebody take a quick picture of you or a quick video of you waking up in the morning. I mean, like, well, first cup of coffee, and then firing up the computer, getting to work, and then rolling up to a house, putting a sold sign on, right? And you're stitching all these little snippets together. Oh, here we go. Fourth cup of coffee for the day, writing a contract, showing a house, whatever the case is, right? People love to see little snippets of our day. And what a great way, again, to be very authentic in what we do, and to be able to kind of give everybody a glimpse into our lives. So that's the point of the story, is to give the snippets. And then the point of the posts is that, those are all the really pretty pictures, or the branded pictures, or the pictures of the kids, or whatever you want to do. Now, one other trick I want you guys to know about Instagram is that when you make your posts, right, you guys have the option to sort them into different highlights. If you look here at my screen, you guys will see each one of the different decor, real estate, family, trends, improvement, and uplift. I've created each one of those categories, right? And if you guys want your own branded color, I can send you guys the template, super easy to do over on Canva, and then pop it in over here. So let's say that I take a picture of, I upload a picture of a house that I'm listing, right? I can go ahead and pop that into my highlight called real estate. Then if somebody's thinking, well, gosh, I heard April is a good realtor to use, I'm going to go check out her Instagram page. And she pulls it up. They can click on real estate and then flip through anything that I've ever posted that falls into the real estate highlight or category. So definitely start setting up your highlights and start taking advantage of those, because those are very powerful. You guys don't have to spend a lot of time on this. Really, if you're just getting started, about 5 minutes a day, maybe a couple of days a week is going to be enough to start to really build up a following and to start to get your name out there. Okay, which is going to bring me to the third thing that I want to talk about, which is Google profiles. I'm not going to jump too much into it. However, if you guys are not really hemming away your Google, your business page, you guys are missing the boat on this big, big time, especially as Zillow becomes more and more unstable as far as becoming a brokerage. And we all know this. I don't need to beat a dead horse, right? However, what we've seen are some of the reviews disappearing and some of the past sales disappearing, right? We need to pivot, all about pivoting in this business, and find a new way for people to find it. People are going to Google your business page by like the droves. Like, this is the place to be. Get on there. All you do is you go into Google and you Google, April Tucker Realtor or Kathy Hirsch Realtor or whatever you wanted to say, right? And anyways, it's going to pull up your business page. So this is kind of then what people will see, right? You guys want to make sure that you guys are going into the back end, which there'll be a little edit my profile when you guys see this, and you guys are putting in a bunch of different real estate pictures and a bunch of different branding pictures and team pictures and brokerage pictures and office pictures, everything, right? Because people are going to be flipping through your pictures. And it is of the utmost importance, you guys, that you are starting to build up those Google reviews on there. And so I just really started this about a month ago. I didn't have any reviews a month ago. I was super behind the curve. I didn't really even know that this was a thing up until the whole Zillow thing kind of went down. And I realized I needed to pivot and figure something else out for my business. Guys, since I started getting my reviews on here, and once I went through and kind of made everything look a little bit branded and a little bit pretty and put in my logo, my pictures, and hemmed up all of my appointment times and what I do, leads have started to come in fast and furious. I just had Tweety come in and I have him under contract set to close here in 2 weeks. I just got a second lead under contract that came through off of Google Your Business. I have a third lead that I'm actively working with, who's a cash buyer from California. And then I've got another lead that came through that was a real estate agent who was just looking for a good real estate agent here in Omaha and came across my profile and said, hey, I found you on Google. Guys, this is powerful stuff right here. So I want everybody, probably by the end of the week, if I could give a piece of homework. Oh my gosh, is today the end of the week? Is it Friday? Oh gosh, no, I hope not. It's Wednesday. Oh, thank God. But anyways, let's just say by Friday, I want everybody just to go Google themselves and go take stock on what your profile is looking like and see what you can do to clean it up. That being said, keep in mind that if anybody here has signed up for HomeSnap Pro, that they were running that $100 deal, HomeSnap Pro is currently running your Google profile page. When I figured that out, I called out HomeSnap and I was like, I need this link broken. Now I don't love the content you guys are posting. I had no idea this was going on here. I want to do my own thing. And they were able to break that connection. All of the HomeSnap stuff on mine was removed. And then I just, bulked it up with all of my own branded stuff. So anyways, very, very important, which kind of really brings me to the last thing here. If you guys are not on Canva, go get your butts on Canva. Just go get the free account. If you guys need a tutorial, I feel like I could do a whole class just on how to get started with Canva so that you can create really beautiful branded content. Because as you guys are jumping into social media, you want to have some sort of cohesion behind everything that you guys are doing, some semblance of everything looking the same as far as colors and fonts and all of that. Canva is the place to start building all of it. And so anyways, you guys, that is my social media high horse, and I love it. And I'll stop screen sharing now.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Okay.
Wow, that was a lot and good stuff. I think just any one piece of that, if you guys just pick that one piece up, would be just a huge heightened place of your business. So so let's talk about all this. April, you can lead the conversation. Let's get some feedback on what one thing that you guys saw here that April presented are
Raquel has a question.
or
April,
Yes.
quick question. So you said that on the Google page, HomeSnap has, like, they own our, like, they're the ones. What I'm having a problem with is I go to my Google page and I feel like it's the same question over and over again. Somebody owns it. I'm like, what do you mean somebody owns it? And I can tell whatever's written there, it's not how I speak. And I've requested from Google several times to have whoever owns it to release it.
Yeah, let me look you up here and just see, because there's two different ones. So when I called out to HomeSnap, I just talked to whoever just kind of went through in the queue. But I wonder, that could be what's going on with it for sure, is that, let me see if I can figure it out, Realtor.
Like, it was weird. I was able to get my phone. Well, I guess my phone number was in there. I was able to like change the address, but on mine, it keeps saying Google's reviewing your suggestions. And then when you look at the bottom, the wording, I'm an expert real estate agent with better, like, that's not how I speak at all.
Oh yeah, I'm an expert real estate agent. You know what? Hold on. Let me look at something here. Because it's either going to be HomeSnap or Better Homes and Gardens runs one also for you.
On Google?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so just so you know that too, Tim, I'm sure you're aware of it, but everybody has a My Business page through Better Homes and Gardens.
Yes, but
so maybe that could be what you're seeing too.
I couldn't even begin to try to describe anything beyond that. So I have no idea how it works.
Do we have like a Google contact? I mean, I have like spent way too much time trying to figure this out. And what ends up happening is that, like you said, I need to focus and get back on track. And I just have gotten to the point where I'm like, I just don't even care because it's such a hot mess. We did finally get the Allvers Group one straightened out, but I'm so afraid to start asking for reviews via Google because like Zillow is so messed up. And I know it can be done. I know that if you go out to our Zillow page for the Allvers Group, the only person it looks like that's on our team is Trace. And anytime we try to contact people at Zillow, you know, you get nowhere. And I've seen two teams where it has like the team leader is also listed with a little circle underneath, and then there's different reviews. But I'm like so afraid to go out to like Google and stuff and ask for reviews because I'm afraid that those reviews are going to end up on this page, and then that page is going to get, you know, updated, or it's just, I just feel like it's just such a hot mess.
Raquel, do you know how long ago it was that you submitted any sort of request to Google?
It's been within the last month.
Yeah, in my experience we worked with some small businesses trying to get updates on Google in my last position, and it was at least 6 to 8 weeks before even the potential of them responding. So I wouldn't say that lead is dead. I don't think you're there yet.
Okay.
So when I was trying to get everything sorted out, because keep in mind, there's two different sides here to Google, you guys. You have my local services, you have a Google My Business page, and then you have local ad services. So when I was trying to set up my local ad services, I spoke to an Alicia Dixon, and I'll go ahead and I'll forward this to you so you have it. It's Alicia Dixon at google.com, and she was really awesome at helping me get everything all sorted out. So I'll screenshot that and send it over to you. And
Okay.
then I also spoke to somebody really good over on the HomeSnap side, and I think they had sent me a follow-up email as well. And so it took a couple phone calls between the two, but I just looked you up on BHGRE. I'm pretty sure what you're seeing is the HomeSnap side of it. So all I had to do was call, get in the queue to talk to some random person at HomeSnap. And I said, break this link, get rid of this link. And they did. And that was very effective because mine was kind of a mess too. And I was really scared to get those reviews.
If
I
I
have a
can turn in
question.
for a moment, Raquel, I typed in my own name and I got the same exact wording as yours. So
So we're both expert realtors, huh?
Expert realtors. And then because I've never dug into it deep like this, I'm looking at all these posts. It has all these posts. They're look like HomeSnap or HomeSpotter. Boost. The HomeSpotter.
Yes, that was the other thing. That's what I bet it is.
I think it's connected to
because that's what that boot. Yeah, I bet that's what it is. Yeah, because I got the Olvers group. You know, if you Google the Olvers group, I got that to at least look okay. But again, I'm not even 100% sure. It's weird when you go out and they're like, oh, well, somebody already owns this. I'm like, what do you mean somebody owns this? It's mine. It's me. You know, it's just, I'll try those numbers that you've got, April, and then I'll try to be patient, Kathy. It's not my strong suit, but I'll try. I have one other question for you on the Instagram. How did you get those medallion things? What's you call them highlights?
Highlights.
I don't see that on my.
Yeah. So there's a create a highlight thing. Let me see if I find it here.
You have to be using stories. You can't just do it from feed posts. So if you don't use stories, it's not an option.
So do you just, if you have at least one story out there, it'll offer you the highlights?
Yeah.
That help you like categorize? And do you have to do it from your phone, or because I know some stuff from Instagram you cannot?
I don't even bother trying to do things on desktop with Instagram.
Oh. So right here, when you're on this page, Raquel,
okay,
you see where all my highlights are, you should see one that's called just add new. And that's how I've done it. So you should just have a new button sitting right there, and then you can create them. If you want them to be colorful or branded or whatnot, you can go jump on Canva, and then they do have a template on Canva that you can use to make it look however you want it to look with your brand colors.
So when you do the stories, you know, they go away like in a day. Are they all collected there? Do you categorize them? So then if I go to your page, hit real estate, I can see a bunch of different stories from the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to have told it to do it though. Like you can go back and see your archives and say yes, and then it'll save into that highlight. You can't organize it at all. It has to be in chronological order, but you don't have to take everything in between. You can just randomly pick which ones that you want to feed into there.
Okay. I've always wondered why people did stories. Like, it's only out there for 24 hours. I'm like,
not always. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
I have a question about the Google business page. So and I'm sorry, April, if you said this. So to create the Google business page, do you go to Google Business? Like, is there like a website you go to create your own Google business page, or is it just automatically there?
So I don't think that you can create a new, let me come jump in here and take a look. Look, give me your name, Nicole
Wilder.
Yeah, so you should be able to create a new one, but I think that you already need one set up. Let me see here. Oh no, wait, hold on. Google My Business page, because I had set mine up years and years ago. Yeah, so if you just go to Google My Business page, the very first thing should be google.com/business, and then you should be able to start to build your new one right from there. And it's a little bit of a process. Make sure that this is going to sound bad, so like Tim and Carol, cover your ears. Make sure that no matter what email you're using on it, it is something that you are going to have for the rest of your life. So that might not be a Better Omaha email, not for any reason, good or bad. However, once you have it set, when I set mine up 5 years ago, and I didn't even know what I was doing back then, I used my apesmarie@gmail.com. Guys, I tried so hard to switch that to my new email, and they are like, nope, does not happen. So once you pick out your email, it is set in stone. And so if you lose your email at any time, you will lose your profile, all of your reviews and everything. So keep that in mind.
April, I completely agree with
Got
you.
it. Thank
Clearly,
you.
I am never going anywhere, but my timothyLreader@gmail.com is my primary email.
Mine is goodlifelady@gmail, and I totally agree with you that you got to own ownership to the key.
Totally agreed. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you guys in on probably the biggest secret right now in the Omaha Metro, and nobody is doing this except for 3 other realtors. It makes me even nervous to tell you guys because I stumbled across it and I'm picking up leads left and right. And even this makes me a little bit nervous to get out there and to share. Go to localservicesads.com. And I want you guys to start to build in all of the back end of that. What ends up happening is that once you guys get all of those different check marks filled in, then when somebody Googles, Omaha real estate agent, they now have on Google 4 names or several names up at the top of the Google search, and you can see all of the reviews and whatnot. And people are using that for their new, like, to search for realtors. You have to pay, it's like a lead generation. I think I'm paying like $50 a week or something right now. However, the only other people in the Omaha Metro using it is Adam Briley, Amanda Sway, who's on Adam Briley's team, one other agent who's also on Adam Briley's team, Curtis Lee, who I want to say is over with AW Leads, right? And then myself. The leads coming in off of it are insane because at the end of the day, you have Adam Briley that you can pick, but there's like 400 something reviews. And obviously, like, it's a big team. Amanda Sway is a big competitor of mine on there. And I'm finding she and I are having a lot of fun kind of talking through, did he get a call? Did I get a call? I've got the most reviews on it right now out of the other 3. And so my leads are pouring in off of the local services ads. And so it's a lot of work to set up the back end of the profile on it. You have to have a certain type of insurance. You have to go through a background check. You have to do all of these things to be considered Google certified. And then once you are a Google certified agent, when anybody searches for a real estate agent in the Metro, you will be one of a couple of names that pop up as the best in the area. It is slick.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that tip.
It's slick. Yep.
April, when you went to look up Nicole, can you repeat again how you did that?
Yeah. So you mean like to start a new one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you just put into the search bar, Google my business page, and literally like those are the words. The first thing that pops up is Google my business. And then you can go ahead, you can go to manage now or sign in. You can go to manage my business profile. You guys can start to set it all up from there. But the link for it is google.com/business. And that's how you're going to start to build it.
Thank you.
April, what's the name that you have under there? Do you have your, on Google search, you have your name, just April Tucker Realtor? Is that the name of your business?
Yep, I'm April Tucker Realtor, BHGRE, the Good Life Group. Because again, I don't think that there's any real, Facebook is kind of the thing right now that the commission makes you do your brokerage name on, but it's not going to be long, and it's just a respectful thing to do in my book anyways. So you just go ahead and try to carry that through all your platforms, including Google My Business.
The logo or the words?
The words. The name of it is April Tucker Realtor, BHGRE, the Good Life.
Okay. All right. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Good.
Yep.
Any of you have a Google page, a Google business page? Kathy, you do. Anybody else have that? All right. Any other questions for April? I know that I will watch your video like 10 times because any one piece of that for 5 minutes is an ATA in itself. So we really appreciate your being here today and creating that video, because that's going to stay in the library for a long time, and people are going to be referring to it. And I know there's going to be a lot of experienced agents who who don't like to admit that they go back and watch like your basic lessons, but they'll go back and watch it probably several times. Like, what's April's secrets? So
Yeah.
thank you so much for doing that.
Authenticity. There's the only secret you guys need to know. That's
Yeah, and then next week is week 9 of 100 Days of Greatness. That's what you came in on at the beginning, April, was we were trying to finish 100 Days of Greatness, and those conversations kind of like take off on their own, and we try to cut them off before the 12 o'clock class. But next week's mentor class is going to be Tom. I think it's going to be Tom. It's going to be the business of your business, the financial side of your business as a new agent, and probably amongst anything else that you can learn as a new agent is to do it from the very beginning, is to set yourself up financially with everything that you can to set yourself up to operate like a business. And we're going to pound this drum over and over and over again, but we're also going to hold your hand and be with you for all of the pieces that are so important. I know we're going to deal with it also in 100 Days to Greatness on the 70, 10, 10 and what to do with your money. And it just, that's probably one of the things that should be taught in real estate school, because I know so many realtors who start their business, they have no idea how much they're going to make, what they're supposed to do with it, how it's going to be paid, nothing. So Tom's going to talk about that next week. So Rhonda.
Carol, did we switch the schedule? Because I think the original calendar that we sent out had Raquel for next week.
Oh,
and then Tom for the following week.
Hang on, let me see. Is this week, will next week be week 11 or week 12? Mentor calendar. All right, hang on.
I don't know. Next week's the 24th.
Oh, it is Raquel. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was thinking, oh, cool. I'm right after that the next week.
No, Raquel, you're
Sorry, Raquel.
next week. Burning questions.
Oh,
Burning questions with Raquel. So I want you guys to each come bring your burning questions, and then she's going to talk a little bit about FSBOs and what the heck to do with those, and like even non-FSBOs, because off-market sales right now are something that I know we've been successful with 3 or 4 of them, and get out of the insanity of what's going on in the marketplace that's taking that down even the best of us. So bring your questions. I'm going to call on you. If you don't have any questions, I'm sure you're going to have to make one up just on your feet. So
Carol, do you want to have them send in questions ahead of time, and then I can maybe
sure. That'd be great. Yeah.
And then I'll try to group them so I can kind of try to answer multiple questions in one answer, and then we can always kind of play off of that. And I know they'll probably be more
challenge Raquel, because Raquel probably one of the best question answerers I've seen. When a question goes out on our agent email, do you ever notice like Raquel not only answers, but she gives you real good reasons, some examples. Were you a teacher before, Raquel?
God, no, I would have killed all of my children. I would have eaten them. No, I just, you know what? It's weird because like I look at the fact that I had my parents and all the questions I would ask.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so easy to sit there at a restaurant or a bar or at the kitchen table and have these real estate discussions. And then as I've gone through this business, I've realized that some people just don't have that. And everyone always says, oh, you can call on me. You can call on me. But, after a while you feel bad calling. Like, I'm calling Carol. I'm like, hey, I know it's 11 o'clock on a Friday night.
It's okay. I'm up.
Yeah, I know. That's like when clients are like, when you text a client at 1:30 in the morning and they text you back, I'm like, what are you doing up? What are you doing up? I'm like, I don't know.
I don't look at the clock. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess what it is I just love this. I love my job. I love this industry. And I want to see people do the job better. I am really blown away by the number of people in this industry that have been in the business as long as they have. And this isn't just other companies. This is every single brokerage in town. Blown away by people who have been in the business for say, 9, 10 years or more, and they don't know certain things to me that are just common knowledge. I don't know. And it just, or how they do things, or they don't understand something. And I just feel like you shouldn't be in this business that long and not know that.
So send your questions to Rhonda. Rhonda, you're gonna send out a little email pretty soon.
Yeah, I will. I'll send something, a couple of them out.
Okay, and we'll keep track of the questions. We'll bring them, send them to Raquel before the class, and then anything else that comes up, bring to the class, because the more participation we have, the better it'll be. All right. Thank you,
Okay.
everybody. Thanks to all of you who showed up, and thank you all the mentors who voluntarily showed up. So
We
thanks,
love it.
guys. Bye-bye. Have a good one.